I'm going to give another power note. Number one, know your contracts and who you get into business with.
Yep.
And make sure that you're protected. Number two, don't believe every bullshit artist that comes into your world, right? Because everybody says they can do everything.
Yep.
Great. Is that what you're going to do for me? Fantastic. What's your track record? Who are your references?
But you know, it's easy to say that right now. And now that I'm in the business run, I can be like,
oh
yeah, I'm an owner.
Trying to help them.
Yeah, because now
right?
I could say, hey, now I'm an owner. Now I know that. And it's funny because I was speaking to one of my friends, Robert. He owns Hydrolife. And him and I were speaking the other day, like, man, like all these older people, they always come to us with a big idea, a big red bow on this gift. And then when we show them what we got, we always get screwed. So I started...
Welcome back, everybody, to the Real Talk Show and Conference. You know we've changed the name. You know we've changed the style. What we're trying to do is bring you real dog entrepreneurs that have faced adversity through their entire travel. And I'm bringing Nani on the show. What's up, Nani? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? I'm pretty good. I'm super excited. I'm happy to be here.
So I want to introduce Nani to everyone. First conversation I had with her, she was on fire. And it was a really good opportunity for us to meet at the time that we met. So Nani owns and operates a company called Innovative Moving Solutions. And that company is not a moving company, it is a third party. This is the Expedia to moving solutions. And she's taking the moving industry by storm. She's working very hard to get to the top.
Yeah.
And she has faced some serious adversities. So I want to let's dig in deep from the very bottom.
All right, let's go.
Where are you starting from? Like, where are you coming from? What makes you push for entrepreneurship?
Well, what makes me push from entrepreneurship, and it's funny because I have this conversation a lot with millennials, and I say that because we're young. But a lot of people ask, why do I do what I do? It's not something that I've always pictured, hey, I want to own a business because that's something I want. It's sort of a mentality that I have to. Okay. I've always been on a survival mode type of, mentality, only because, not that I had the worst life, but a lot of my decisions and a lot of things that, life throws at you has put me in that position of, hey, you got to be a boss. Hey, you got to figure this out.
Right.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And then it just fortunately came out to be that I fell in love with sales. I met the right people at the right time, just like sort of how you and I met.
Right.
And then it pushed me to want to open up my own business. At first, I was very skeptical on going to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be a leader instead. So my trick was I go to businesses, I make them skyrocket with their sales. I make them get a sales team. That's what I love to do. So I went to 3 or 4 different sales floors. I created, a 30 rep floor for 2 student consolidation companies. I ended up building a moving brokerage floor. And then I ended up wanting to actually own my own business.
Like, do it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm like,
right?
I'm making all this money. I'm making this business successful. I see what's coming with it. Why can't I do it for myself? So then,
and then you felt the heartaches of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and then
right?
I'm like,
before you were helping other entrepreneurs grow their businesses, that was your gig, and now your gig is to be in their shoes.
Yeah, and I'm like, where the hell is a Nani? Like, I need to meet a Nani. I need to find a Nani, and I can't find that right now. But I'm working on it,
Okay.
and being an entrepreneur, I realize it's not the peachy thing that
it's not, man.
It makes it look like.
And a lot
online.
of people, like, they see people on TV and they see the final picture, right? They see the background.
They don't see the journey. They don't see the journey.
They never see the journey. So tell me, hardest part. Like, you told me your story. I'm bringing it out on you. What was one of the hardest adversities? And so, guys, if you are watching the show for the first time, you will never hear me say the F word, which is failure. I'll never say it because, in my opinion, the only way that you can ever fail is if something does not work out and you crawl into a corner and you cry about it and you die. That is failure. Yeah. But adversity will happen. Hiccups will happen. So I've changed in my vocabulary, just so you know, I've changed the word failure for hiccup, right? Yeah. So I'll go and I'll say, man, I had a hiccup. I got to figure out how to get past it.
That's funny because I changed the word hope. I don't say hope anymore because to me, I don't feel like hope is something that's in an actual set thing. And instead of saying, oh, I hope for it, that means I'm wishing it happens. I'm begging for it to happen. But
yeah,
if I have
I hope
faith,
I win the lotto.
Exactly. I hope I win the lotto. I hope my business goes great today. But what am I doing when I'm hoping? I'm begging. You get what I'm saying? I'm begging for something to happen. But if I have faith and I know that, hey, this is what's going to happen, and why is it going to happen? Because I know it is. You know, my business is going to take off in the next year. Why? Because I know it is. Not because I'm hoping, and I hope you guys see this, and I hope you guys follow me. I know you're going to follow me, and I know you're going to watch the movement, and I know you're going to see what my business is going to do, you know?
That's awesome. So talk to me. You got into business with a partner.
Yeah.
Right? And then tell everybody your hiccup, your situation, your adversity, and how you had to overcome it.
So my problem has always been I'm very bright. I like to share my ideas, and I think that's where I've gotten in the issue with a partner. I helped this guy start up a health insurance floor. Had no idea who he was, but he heard of me. He actually found one of my own employees to find me, reach out to me, and say like, hey, I want you on my sales floor. Like, I need you to help me start this floor up. Started up a health insurance floor. I had no idea of health insurance, but I knew sales. So I'm like, it can't be hard. I got to figure this out. Learned health insurance in a month, got my 215 license. I ended up creating a floor, and the floor skyrocketed, you know, because it's open enrollment. Once the hard part came in, where now we got to make do with season being out, what are we going to do? It just so happened to be that guy was a broker, but for freight. And he heard about me wanting to start up my own, you know, moving company. And he kept asking, like, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? And just like I told everyone, it's timing, you know, it's timing. I got to meet the right timing. Realistically, I need money. You know, I don't got a partner. I don't have an investor, but I don't want to go asking someone for it. He ended up, you know, seeing the work that I could do for him on his health insurance floor. He was like, let's do it. Like, let's start up this moving business. How much? I told him $20K. And I'm thinking $20K because how hard could it be? Get some leads. I'm going to make the money off the leads. $20K. Yeah. That $20K investment
20 goes out
quick,
the door like this.
Very, very quick. And when you're not very knowledgeable in the sense of numbers, you think you can make $20K stretch into like everything.
So I want to take a pause, right? Power note right now. Know your finances.
Yeah.
Right? Sit down with a CPA. Sit down with somebody who can really go over business finances with you, right? Because
definitely.
Look, finances could ruin everything.
It could make or break you if you don't know your numbers.
This is the number one reason that companies fail. It's the number one reason couples don't make it. It's the number one reason for so many things is financing. But in this particular subject, we're talking business. If you don't know your finances, if you don't know how to spend money, if you overspend, if you pull too much credit, you will fail. You will fall apart.
Yes, you will. And
it's very
just a
difficult
power
to
note,
catch up.
Marketing, especially when you're doing a call center or floor in that sense, it's the biggest thing to track. Because if you don't track your marketing and you're new at it and you have money there and you're like, oh, don't worry, I could keep reeling it in.
You got to know your ROI,
You have to know your ROI. You have to know, you know, what you're tracking. Where is this lead coming from? Is it a referral? Is it Yelp? Do I keep putting money on Facebook? Do I put money on my Instagram? Do I keep buying from vendors? And that was my obstacle that I didn't know, and my partner didn't help me.
So 20 turned into?
20 turned into about 50K.
Okay.
Not too big, but it was double what we spoke about.
Yeah, it was more than double the jump.
Now, the guy's getting kind of like, come on, Nani, you know, where's the money that you were telling me? Where's this? Where's that? And I started seeing that he was looking for an overnight success. He wasn't really where I was at, where I'm like, hey, like, this isn't going to happen in a month or two. Like, I could make it happen, but we're going to have a lot of people calling us and a lot of bad reviews, you know? Ended up being that next 2 weeks after we had a talk where he's like, oh, I want to stop being your partner. I'm going to give you 2 weeks. You know, God came knocking. That 2 weeks, I hit 100K in 2 weeks in just deposits. And I was lucky because it ended up being summer season. You know what I mean? So once that flow came in, we built, in 3 months, we made $350,000 in sales. With that, was I tracking it how I should? No. So I think my biggest adversity was having success hit me before failure hit me. Now, not failure, but before a hiccup came. And what, not to say this, failure is only failure if you don't learn from it. You know what I mean? So before I actually had a hiccup, I had success, and I think that was the wrong mixture for me. That was the wrong mixture for disaster, because I'm sitting here, 24 years old, just opened my business, $350,000.
You see it all the time. I see a lot of young kids have instant success, and when instant success, guys, is not overnight. It's just over time.
It's the Instagram success.
Success, and they blow the money, man. Like Miami's famous for that, right?
I didn't blow my money though. I didn't blow it. I didn't blow my money. I was very smart in that sense. Like I was even scared to spend my own money on gas because I was just like, I don't want my partner to think, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Another thing I failed to do is read my paperwork. He's an investor, not a partner. You know what I mean? I can actually do what I want with my business, but I'm under this guy's rules, I feel like. $350,000, we're in profit, and now I'm spending it thinking, okay, I need to double my marketing. this is where, I have my hiccup. I'm spending it on Facebook. I created my own Google PPC campaign, which, by the way, is extremely hard to learn on your own. And people are very, very condescending when they say, I got you. I'm going to help you with your PPC campaign. You just pay the budget. I set up the rest. That's the best thing you can hear, because you're like, oh, all I got to do is set the budget.
I hear that all the time.
Little do you know, your budget is your budget for a day, because I was spending $3,000 a week on PPC campaigns where I wasn't getting no return. No return. And if I got a return, it was a big lead, but I was basically getting back what I spent. I did that for 2 months on top of Facebook ads, on top of buying vendor leads, and then just started seeing like, all right, what am I doing? And I got discouraged because I go to my partner, hey, can you help me with the numbers? He doesn't got nothing to say, and a week later, he always has a question, where's the money,
Right.
We ended up coming to our hiccups where now customers are getting picked up. It's time for deliveries. I got into some bad partnerships with some carriers, and it's just started coming. Refunds, crediting people back, just because situations started happening. My partner wanted to get paid out. I wasn't even paying myself out, and he thought I was lying. He ended up taking half the $350,000 that was in the bank account and basically told me, figure it out, figure the rest out. What am I supposed to do with $150,000 when I know I have a lot of refunds coming? I got employees to pay. My marketing that I'm spending almost $50K a month is gonna blow that. So I downsize, and I get a consultant. Consultant that was another guy that bullshitted me, telling me like, hey, I see your great idea. I'm gonna help you skyrocket 10% of your business. And
right, so hold on a second. I'm gonna give another power note. Number one, know your contracts and who you get into business with, and make sure that you're protected. Number two, don't believe every bullshit artist that comes into your world, right? Because everybody says they can do everything.
Yep.
Great. Is that what you're going to do for me? Fantastic. What's your track record? Who are your references?
But it's easy to say that right now. And now that I'm in the business run, I can be like,
oh
yeah, I'm an owner.
I'm trying to help them.
Yeah, because now I could say, hey, now I'm an owner. Now I know that. And it's funny because I was speaking to one of my friends, Robert. He owns Hydrolife. And him and I were speaking the other day, man, all these older people, they always come to us with a big idea, a big red bow on this gift. And then when we show them what we got, we always get screwed. So I started realizing it's that these young people, and when I say young people, myself, we have such great ideas. We got such great ambition that when poor execution, when someone offers us something great, and especially me, I don't come for money. So if someone believes in me and they're like, hey, I want to invest in you, I'm like, tell me this is my plan. Are you down for it? Let's go. And that was my mentality. Now I'm like, no. These people all see you as a money sign, and how can they take advantage of you? And how stupid are you? The more excited you are about this person's dream to go with you, the more you're gonna get bullshitted, and that's just it, because they're selling you a dream the whole time.
Right.
And I got sold a dream. I got sold he was gonna help me with my numbers. I got sold that he was gonna be there when there was problems. I got sold all of this, and really it all fell on me. And I'm glad it fell on me because it taught me how to be an owner, and it taught me what I was doing wrong.
Right.
I end up, long story short, I end up basically having to fire everyone on my sales floor because I can't afford to keep them. My sister I hire, thinking she's the best thing ever. She ends up stealing from my business, the one person I'm trusting. Had this carrier that he did something really wrong to a client, and innovative, we stand by our clients. So I didn't pay him on a job. He ended up holding 10 of my jobs that he already picked up hostage. So I called all 10 of my clients, let them know they weren't going to deliver them. So I'm in the middle of this going on. My sales room's failing. I got no money, and I got a little girl. You know what I mean? What the hell am I gonna do?
So what do you do?
What do you think I did? What do you think I did? I went to work. I fired everybody. I'm like, who knows this like I know this? Me. Who's gonna call these people like I'm gonna call these people? Me. So I sat in my office. I actually read Be Obsessed or Be Average because I needed something. I needed some faith. I needed something to get me going, I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Motivate me, man.
Let's go, Grant. I read Be Obsessed or Be Average, and I'm like, wow, I needed to read this. Did he make this for me? I'm like, yo, who put this book here? I read it, and I get so obsessed with my business again, me making my business happen again, that now I'm going to carriers, and my pitch is this. Look, let me work on your sales floor. I'll work on your floor. I'll help your reps go. All you have to do is purchase the leads, and I'll book them for you. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, buy me leads, and the jobs are yours. And they're like, yeah, what's the catch? All I want is 25%, and I could run the payment, and it's mine. They're like, you sure? I'm like, I'll take care of your company like it's mine. I did that with 2 moving companies. I did that with Smart Van Lines, and I did that with Expedite. And they got me going. I started making $5K a month, $6K a month. And now I'm like, okay, now I can start paying off some of my debt.
Right.
Now I can start breathing, you know, where I could start thinking.
Right.
And then I get into the ambassador group at with Grant Cardone. And wow, that accountability was like great, because I had people that didn't know me, but they believed in me.
Right.
Like it was crazy. Like till this, just now, I was actually, prior to this in my in-home, I went and met with one of the ambassadors that when I was down in my funk, he would write me every day like, you're great, your idea's awesome, you're great, your idea's awesome. And then I met you around that time where you're telling me like, wow, that's a great idea, and you're a successful man. So hearing that, I'm like, I'm onto something. Like, I'm onto something. So then
you got to stick with it.
For the last 2 months.
And it's massive. Like, you've been through a lot, so it's massive action, right? So one of the things that we consistently say is take action, right? A lot of people have great ideas, they fail to execute, or they execute poorly because they don't do the right research, they don't, make the right decisions, and so forth and so on. Man, and if I could tell anybody anything, one of the things that you just mentioned, I'll give you another power note, right? Find a mentor. Even if that means that you're going to go into an ambassador program with Cardone, or you're going to come work for me, or you're going to work for anybody else that you find to be a mentor, find a mentor. Because believe it or not, successful people love to leave clues. And when they leave those clues, they love to talk about them, man.
Yeah.
And so if you could be mentored by somebody who's going to give you the upper edge, the advantage, right? I'm looking for mentors all the time.
Yeah.
If I see somebody better, badder, and greater than me,
I want to be around
I'm like, dude, where do you live? I'm flying in.
Right?
Like, can I spend a day with you?
That's what you need to do. And I was realizing that I was being adequate rather than being inadequate. Like, I was putting myself in situations where I know I'm better than the people in the room, and not to say I'm better than them, but like in the sense of my mindset's better than them. I'm in a better position than them. Why am I in the room with these people? And at that time, I was doing that to myself too, because I'm like, I gotta feel better. Like, I need to be around people that tell me about your shitty ass 9 to 5, so I can tell you about my long day as a business owner. You know what I mean? And then being in the ambassador group, and then knowing that I started leveling myself up. Brian, thank him, he got me into that red carpet event, and he was introducing me to money. And I say money like, you're money. Like, I'm glad I'm sitting next to you. Like, hopefully I get some of your luck, you know what I mean? But seriously, he was introducing me to all these great people and showing me my potential, and I'm like, wow, like, I need to learn how to be a better leader. That's where I failed. And now I will say failure because I didn't know about it until maybe 3 weeks ago, when I'm like, let me look back at everything that I'm doing wrong. I hired an employee, and I started getting frustrated again because I'm like, what's wrong? And then I started seeing, I want to be a leader, and I want to be the boss so much that instead of showing them what's wrong, I do it for them.
Right.
You know
so
what I
I
mean?
went through years of that, by the way, right? I could never find the right assistant until I realized that I never taught my assistants how to do anything. I just expected it from them.
Yes.
Right? And then I expected them to run at the same pace as me, which is never going to happen.
Never.
I have yet to meet one person that runs at my pace.
Yeah.
Right? And so I had to scale back. And actually, the lesson was taught to me by one of my assistants.
Yeah.
Right? I sat at a desk. We had a small office, man, 100 square feet. I sat at this desk. The door was there. She sat at that desk. She faced the wall. And I listened to this micromanaging, overcompensating attitude as a boss, right? She sat facing the wall so I could keep an eye on her computer.
God.
I want to see what she was doing.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was telling her and telling her and telling her and telling her. And finally, one day she turns around. She goes, Dave, let me do it my way. If I reach the same end goal that you're trying to reach, what's the difference on how I got there?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, bitch, shit. You know
right, I mean? You can turn your computer around. I'm not looking at it anymore.
And I looked at her and I said, all right, cool. And so listen to how cocky I was. I was like, all right, cool, go ahead and fail.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead and fail. And she was a badass. She got all my shit done.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not failing.
And I would give her and give her and give her, and she would get it done. And I learned to teach somebody the way to get something done.
Delegating.
Delegate it appropriately, and get it accomplished in a way that you want it accomplished, and forget about the method.
Yeah.
Forget about the method, right? There are multiple roads to an end goal, right? I can get from my house to your house in 100 different ways. using every different streets.
If we're
right?
in Miami, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen because the traffic sucks here.
That's why you take the back roads or you chop her in, right? So that being said, I want to say thank you for being here with me today. And I think we pulled off with like 4 or 5 power notes on this.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And I'm really excited about that. So I want to book a move with you. Where do I go?
You can call my direct line at 954-376-7750. You can also find us on Instagram, where we post a lot of our customers' testimonies in homes. Myself, I'm very hands-on with my clients. Or on Facebook, Innovative Moving Solutions Corp. Or if you want to find me personally, I'm very inspirational. I like to, try to get the youth, and I say youth because I'm young, and I want you guys to feel me on this. Follow me. I add a lot of inspiration, motivation, and I'm just like you. I'm not trying to be like everyone else. I want you guys to realize I'm just like you. I'm in the same position as you, and look what I'm doing. So you could do it too. So Nani, follow me.
All right. And, of course, my name is David Kurz. Reach out to me personally. Go to my website, davidadamkurz.com or davidkurz360.com. And you can get connected to every single social platform I'm on, and you can reach me on there. I'm also available for hire. Talk to you guys soon. See you next week.